Hello and good morning. It is 10:21 a.m. It is November 22nd, Saturday morning. I am going to be doing like a bunch of stuff today. I'm going to be listening to some music and I'm going to be working on my projects. I'm working on three different things at a time. I'm working on, I talked about me addressing the issue of the emergency system, and I do want to include things like financial institutions. So I'm basically talking more about vigilantes and where you can um, spot them, okay? And I kind of went over that in human targets, but I want to get more into like, addressing issues like the emergency system and financial institutions. These are like, the meat and potatoes of what every community should feel comfortable having. You should feel comfortable with your emergency systems, meaning you should feel confident that the police department it has your back. You should be confident that the fire department is going to extinguish a fire if you need it. You should be confident knowing that an ambulance is going to get your loved one if necessary. If these particular systems are being infiltrated by vigilantes, which I do believe they have been, okay, so then we need to I need to focus on this in this video. And then also when it comes to the financial issue, when it comes to, like, for example, I mentioned the credit union uh, and my son's bank, the whole issue I'm not comfortable with. So in terms of, when it comes to gang stalking, they do, vigilantes could take up causes, like for example, the Collins as well as the kids from 533 got together and created problems for me in this community. And then we had people like Mary Landucci and Alita who thought that they could organize, these people, like for example, my landlords, my utility companies, my credit cards, and create this nightmare drama. Okay, and this is exactly what I'm talking about: human trafficking, gang stalking, and it's become a nightmare. Okay, so we need, in order for a community to feel safe and to thrive, they need good emergency systems. This includes like the fire department, sheriff, uh, what do you call it? I mentioned the fire department, right? The police department, ambulance services, stuff like that, and also our financial institutions. I need flexibility in my financial institution. And one thing, you do not want to feel, you shouldn't feel comfortable with is living in a community where people do not understand how to uphold confidentiality. It is nobody's business what you have in the bank. But see, people who are very low grade, they discuss this sort of information with other people. And guess what? That no longer makes you feel secure in those financial institutions. This is what I'm saying. Okay, so I'm focusing on, I don't think I'm going to make it exclusively for like emergency systems. So I am going to be adding different things. Okay, that's one thing. I'm also going to be working on my newsletter. Okay, the other issue I was going to be working on is I'm kind of in between of knowing what's going on with this new job that I'm starting. So it's like, today I wanted to go ahead and clean out my extra room because I figured if these people are setting me up with a computer, then I need space in there. And I knew I've been putting it off for quite a while, but because of this issue with the holdup of my bank account, I'm sitting here. It's not like I'm kind of like, well, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. I'm the kind of person I always like to know what I'm doing. Okay. This is one of the reasons why I like definites. I like things that are absolute. I like to be autonomous most of the time. Like, for example, I told you I was very frustrated because my son didn't, put the money directly back into my account. I don't, and I don't like bringing him into my drama. Okay. But because we were victims of human trafficking, I am making sure that I have control over 100% of everything in my life because people have decided to infiltrate and do a bunch of illegal stuff that has caused me a nightmare drama. Okay. So what's holding me up right now with this job issue is, I had said that the check is being placed on hold because of this stupid financial institution, which I'm hoping it'll clear itself out. But see, I understand how banks work or how they used to work. And, I do think it's unusual to have a check be held that long. So this is one of the reasons why I shouted out to my soul tribe. Um, so where was I going with this? Okay. So, well, okay. So what I was thinking of, okay, I know that when I've worked at other jobs, like, we have a remote employee. Not, everybody, is used to working with remote employees. So they're trying to figure out how do you set up people with their office supplies and the stuff that they need. Okay. A lot of companies like, companies like Dell, Apple, these sort of companies, a lot of them, they have customer accounts and they also have what they call consumer or company accounts. Okay. A company would approach maybe like Apple and say, we'd like to take out a credit, like a revolving credit or something, and then they would be able to order their package, like for example, the computer, printer, whatever, and have it delivered to the employee's house. Or they will have company credit cards and they will purchase the items and then have it shipped to the employee's house. So there's options, okay? So a lot of people don't think about it, especially if it's something that they've never really done before. This is a company that is located in another state. So, it could very well be that this is new to them, but this is their options. Okay. And I figure she said she was going to explore different options. And I don't want to sit here and feel pushy or try to like make her feel like I'm telling her what to do. I'm just letting her come up with options. If she asks me, I will suggest that. But that's generally what it is. A lot of companies, for example, some people have like Office Depot accounts. Office Depot sells computers, they sell printers, and they are willing and able to, you could purchase like computers and stuff like that from Office Depot and then have it sent to an employee's house. I mean, that's how those things usually work. Okay. So, anyway, so she's working on all of this. I do appreciate her following up with me, but I don't want to today. I really don't want to think about the bank transaction. I want to go ahead and like release my thoughts of this issue of being a victim of human trafficking, but I mean, I'm obviously focused on it because this involves my work. Like I'm going to be working on this presentation that I feel is important. Okay, it's no rush. I put these things on myself because, like I said, I found out I was a clone. I decided that I do not want to come here again. My work is very spiritual fulfilling. Why? Because I see that the world needs to be cleansed. It is absolutely disgusting and it needs to be reset into the proper order in order for this new earth to continue on. I am not going to make my life a waste, okay? I am sorry that these people brought me back to this hellhole, okay? Because that's exactly what it is. We have ignorant people, running things that they shouldn't be doing. There's all kinds of crime going on. And quite frankly, the only future for most people at this point is to continue the crime, okay? And I'm saying enough is enough. So I'm going to give my own life validity. The intuitive message I'm getting right now is that yes, I am holy. I have revealed the human trafficking issue, and now I have reversed the government shutdown. I now am going to rebuild society, even if it's only by me, okay? But I do believe that I have the support of my soul tribe, and these people are in positions of power, and I think this is what we need to do. Anyway, so that is one suggestion, just in case if like you work a company and you decide to take on employees from a different state. Now, I would say that this is a brilliant idea to enter into the workforce for people who are targeted individuals. If you are being dealing with community harassment, these opportunities, seem like a feasible thing. Why? Because you don't have to deal with your environment anymore and you can work from home. Okay, that is an option. Okay, so, I hope to see more, what do you call it? Work from home positions, but not work from home positions for just anybody. We can tell that not everybody can be trusted. Like, I know if I'm given an assignment at work, I'm going to do my work. Okay, and I'm not, I do my work. I don't mess around. You know what I mean? And I take my job seriously. Okay, and it's not about being a goody two shoes. It's about being reliable. It's about dependability, and it's about people having trust in me. This is how you build character. And see, this is what I'm trying to demonstrate. See, the intuitive message I'm getting is that yes, people realize Christianity is a lie. And this whole issue was started by Christianity. The intuitive message I'm getting is that the company that I'm working with is a legitimate company. Okay. I do believe that the girl who's working with me, and she's like, really, I do appreciate her following up on a Saturday of all days, but she's, wanting to make sure that this whole thing is going to go well. I'm glad, but those are the options, you know what I mean? Like, things like, I would say most companies, it's a good idea to get an account like Office Depot, Office Max, at least. Okay, this gives you the flexibility to do things if you do want to take on employees who might live in different locations. You can order computer supplies, and have them sent to the house. Okay, and that goes for other vendors, like Apple, I believe, offers that. Dell offers that. Other computer companies do offer that. Get yourself accounts, credit, revolving credit accounts. Companies should have revolving credit accounts. If you are new to these sort of positions, what you'll need the federal tax ID number, the TIN number, whatever, from your company in order to apply for this. You will also need authorization from higher levels of management. Okay. So anyway, so that's my day today, and I want to just do it with a clear thought. And see, I'm the kind of person, I do surround myself with what encourages me. So, today I was thinking about moving, well, before all of this check nightmare happened and hung me up, I was thinking about how I was going to arrange the room that I'll be working in. I kept thinking, okay, which direction do I want to face? Because not only is my desk going to be in that room, I'm also throwing in my sewing machine. I'm putting my sewing machine back into that room. So half the room is my office and half of it is the sewing machine. I only have so much room, right? And so, I want to make sure that I have a good environment, a clean working, something that's going to keep me motivated and that sort of thing. So, I understand that this whole check thing is kind of like, I don't want to devote more time onto something that's causing me frustration. I'm frustrated about the check issue because I'm somebody who likes clear, quick, concise transactions. I don't like hangups. But see, this is not the fault of the company. I'm talking about, it's the fault of the credit union. It's the fault of the people in this community. It's the fault of the people who participated in this trafficking nightmare. Okay. And it's funny because when I was talking to the girl from work, I'm going to call it, the place that I got hired, she was talking to me about different options. And I'm like, okay, I kept thinking, well, if they didn't ruin my credit cards, I would have just purchased the materials myself. You see, what human trafficking is, it is designed to leave you in financial destitution. They also want to make sure that they get rid of you. They don't like seeing you every day. Their attempt is to try to kill you, to get you institutionalized. They'll even try to frame you for, lies. Like, for example, like wearing clothes or wearing makeup. Those are not reasons to have you thrown in jail, okay? But everything that's going on with me is a direct result of these people's incompetence. And who do I blame? I blame Alita. I blame Mary Landucci. I blame their little entourage, Selena Bruce, all the people. And like I said, if this ever got to court, or nobody could have any right to sit here and threaten me to go to court, because I will tell you what, all of these people are going to sit here and have to account for themselves, the ones that are left here that are alive. Okay, because we know how big of this trafficking ring really is. Okay, so anyway, but those are your options. So if you are a company, and I'm making this video shouting out to companies who are taking note of this issue, okay? Because what we have right now is the run-of-the-mill people seem to be a part of these vigilante groups, okay? What we do have is a bunch of targeted individuals who have been blocked out of the workforce by these sort of religious thinking people, okay? And they really do not have any scriptural basis for keeping these people down. So you may want to extend yourself to higher level talent and skilled level people. Okay, these people are cut out of the workforce for a reason, because they are good at their jobs. So you may want to, look at, hiring remote employees if that's possible. But this is how you would get them set up. You would get them set up through, these means. Like you make sure that your company has good credit. Keep a account, maybe like I said, at Office Depot, maybe a computer supplier or whatever. That's a good way to start. Okay, and hopefully other targeted individuals can get back to work. I feel very angry about all the things that I've done. I'm not comfortable with it. I'm not comfortable with it. Okay, and like I said, once I shut down on a person, like I feel like I cannot trust you, I stop looking at you in the eye. It becomes natural to me. It's like you are something I cannot deal with. I will cut you out. Okay, just like if Bruce's mother came to my door, I would probably tell Houston to answer the door. I would not want to speak with her. If she made eye contact with me, I would just turn and walk away. You would never get a conversation with me ever again. Okay, why? Because my spirituality is something that is so deep. It's like I cannot stand something that is that unpure. This is why I can tell throughout my many incarnations that I have always tried, to do the right thing, because to me, doing the right thing leads to better pathways. You know what I mean? Where I do understand most people, they do have the tendency to go along with the herd, okay? And by me being more autonomous, that is originally started circumstance by circumstance. You know what I mean? Just by my character. I mean, being cloned and then having people, create rumors about these people, isolating these people, and then, I'm a very special person. I get that. I don't want to be around people who have nothing positive to say to me. And see what their goal was is to try and make me feel like, oh, there's something wrong with me. I don't believe that there's anything wrong with me. I have already called it out. There was something wrong with society a long time ago. Come to find out, these burden babies that the Christian people were deciding to abuse were actually innocent from the get go. The intuitive message I'm getting right now is many thank yous. My accomplishments have been acknowledged, and many people are grateful about me reversing the government shutdown. Also, people can envision working with someone like me. Okay. Yet, when it comes to business administration, like I said, I know it front to cover. Okay. And I know that most people, like for example, human resource people, they focus on the shallow stuff. FMLA, they focus on, your leave, your PTO, and all this other stuff, okay? That's surface level stuff, okay? This is why they're ineffective in the workplace. Anybody can do that. Like I told you, I made this video about 2017 or something. I said, anybody can do a human resources job. Okay. And no, you do not have to sit here and go to college for it. I will tell you, if somebody wrote out step by step procedures on how to hire somebody, step by step procedures on how to process an FMLA leave or whatever, it can be done. Okay. So these people are not impressive. Okay. What is impressive and what is important really to understand is the nitty gritty details on how to protect a company from lawsuits and how to prevent it from becoming a toxic environment. This is where human resources fails. The intuitive message I'm getting right now is that, my son is willing to take care of me. But like I said, I'm not comfortable with that. Okay. I enjoy working. Working is my life, my livelihood. And not just that, I don't want to put my responsibility on my son. That's my choice. Okay. It's my desire in my life to have my son have a better life than me. That's my goal in life. The intuitive message I'm getting right now is that many people support the New World Order. Also, instant death to who could think of harming me or my son. We are divinely protected. Many people want to learn from me. You know what I mean? Because I know, like, for example, people didn't go to Yale or Harvard to sit here and learn how to process, leave or, to discuss sexual harassment brochures. Like I said, that is absurd. Okay, what I'm talking about is people need to understand the legalities of how a business is supposed to operate. This is what I'm telling you. This is why I roll my eyes at the people I had to deal with. The intuitive message I'm getting right now is I should expect compensation. I deserve top service. I deserve special accommodations. Why? Because I am somebody uh, who makes a point to do things correctly. And I'm very upset right now. Like, I was like, okay, the whole issue about the check thingy, I understand what's going on, and I'm tired of dealing with it. This is why I kept thinking this morning, I want to work on a bunch of different projects. I want to work on my newsletter. I might go into the spare room and start moving things around, okay? But I really want this issue resolved first. It needs to get resolved first, okay? Because, like I said, I know they want me to start earlier and having a wait time. And see, this was strategically designed by these people, believe it or not, okay? Because, these people try to block your finances. Okay, they don't have a right to do that. The intuitive message I'm getting is that these horrible women are in terror 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 300 days, 365 days a year, and infinity. They are worried about losing their job. They are also concerned because the violence in their household is increasing. They're probably getting the shit knocked out of them, and they deserve it. They lost a lot of their mates. A lot of them are losing their reputation, and they are recognized as what they are, which is evil. They are evil. Okay. And like I said, you can sit here, you do not sit here and try to make excuses for evil. Okay. These people knew what they were doing year after year after year after year. They knew what they were doing. Okay. So these people can go out and die in the streets. The intuitive message I'm getting right now is that many people look at me as somebody that they are very happy I'm talking about these sort of things. that I'm saying it just the way it needs to be said. Okay, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. Okay, it's like, there are certain things about people, right, that you can forgive. There's certain things you can forgive, like you step on somebody's toe on accident, you scrape my car, okay, you accidentally ran over, something that belonged to me on an accident. Okay, I can overlook that, but this was a deliberate thing. This was a deliberate thing. They knew good and well there was no instruction in their handbooks that told them to do this. They knew that they were operating on their own selfish will. So, yes, let these people lose their jobs and let them die in the street. The intuitive message I'm getting right now is that I should rest and I should return renewed. Something about the divine believes I should be resting, and I'm thinking, I gotta go, go, go. I'm always on the go. You know what I mean? I can't stop. It's like, this is who I am. And maybe there's certain people who don't understand that, but see, throughout all my lives I've only known that I've dealt with the Christian agenda, people taking it upon themselves, not necessarily the church to church, but it's inspired by the church, with people taking it upon themselves to teach me a lesson, to try to humble me, to try to do whatever, and these people are always wrong, they're always warped. Okay, I blame the church for highlighting people like me because they set you up for these bullying things. Like I said, this is bloodline targeting. That's what it is. Okay, but these people know I'm have of angelic origin. I am somebody who has high standards. Everybody can tell you right now. That's why the United States is supportive of me, because they know I'm innocent. The intuitive message I'm getting is, yes, the Bakersfield Police Department got busted, and I am destroying organized crime. Okay, the organized crime is in the police department. I want you to let that sink in for a moment. Okay, who do you call when you are dealing with something traumatic? That means we don't have anyone but ourselves. I'm aware of it. I'm aware of it. Okay, I'm well aware of it. I've been aware of it for the many, many, many years. This is one of the reasons why I've told you, yes, I have performed miniature operations on myself. I dare not trust anybody. That's just how it is. Okay, but we have a system in place where people are practicing genocide, and we need to wake up about it. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I'm not somebody who accepts this sort of behavior or this sort of nonsense from business. Now, it could very well be that this community is so poor in money and resources, that they float and they steal from Peter to pay Paul. That could very well be. Like I had talked about this in Human Targets. Where certain communities are just basically so ignorant that they believe in stupid stuff like debt slavery and stuff, and it's illegal as hell. Okay, and they have employees make money, and then the employees are restricted and they have to pay a certain percentage to the person who suggests it. Crazy stuff. Okay, and this goes on in this sort of community. Okay, this is one of the reasons why I'm talking about, it's important to know more about. I didn't know how bad this community was. Like when I was told that people were ignorant here. I was told not to move here, okay, because of the racial ignorance. Okay, I will say when it comes to the racial ignorance, I would say that it's gotten a lot better. Really, it has. Okay, but what is I do believe that we have a major educate problem with education in this community, and a lot of it is yeah, just the ignorant people, just very ignorant people. Okay, people who think that just because you have a job that people don't owe you money anymore, that you don't owe a debt anymore because somebody else has, they got money, so therefore you don't owe a debt. No, no. See, and I understand these people have indoctrinated my son, and I can't tell you how unedged I am. I'm on edge that somebody indoctrinated my son with a lot of lies and confusion and bullshit. I do not want my 32-year-old son thinking it's okay to skip out on things because he's been around these weirdos that think it's okay to do this sort of stuff. It's not okay. It is not okay. It is not okay to subdue a woman, okay? Just because it's not okay. It's not okay to harass a woman. It's not okay to sit here and target her. It's not okay to prevent her from having a job. It's not okay to tell people what they can and cannot buy. It's not okay to create, enemies within your own household. Were you trying to make an enemy between me and my son by doing what you did? Okay. Now I love my son, okay, but I'm not happy with the fact that he had any contact with you people at all. And I don't want him to think that this is how you conduct business. Okay, because it's not. This is not how you conduct business. I do not want my son thinking that any of this is normal. It's not. Or acceptable. It's dirty. It's wrong, you know? And I'm disturbed by it. The intuitive message I'm getting is there was a lot of people who are upset because me and Vladimir Putin seem to be very free spirited people. Cool. I'm looking forward to getting to know him, okay? Um, when it comes to something about, okay, people know that I am more educated than most people. Yes, I am. I am more educated than most people, and I can prove it. You know what I mean? I know my job more than most people. Okay, like when it comes to, like I said, when it comes to business administration, I know it. And when I say business administration, I am also including the components that I believe make up it. Number one, law, legal, the legalities of it, legal. Okay, and yeah, I do talk about psychology a lot, and I do talk about sociology because these are how we study these, like for example, certain environments and how it filters into society and affects things. Like for example, we have a bunch of cult-minded people, okay, who have taken over and created problems, okay? Where does this come from? It comes from the study of religion, okay? And it's not real. I highly doubt, what I'm saying is these individual people, it's a cult. It's a cult, okay? Like I said, they all come from different denominations. I'm very grateful that Donald Trump supports me, and I also get the messages that I am looking forward to getting a chance to meet Vladimir Putin sometime in the near future. And I believe that a lot of people in this community possibly knew this before I knew it, okay? Because everybody is everybody's business. But anyway, yeah, and I do believe that there are certain people who want to block my ability to meet Vladimir Putin. I think there's people who are envious of my relationship with Vladimir Putin, and this could very well be just one of the many reasons why they wanted to block my check. The intuitive message I'm getting is that yes, companies and government offices got audited. I am right, and now people are recognizing that I was right all along. Okay, I understand. Like every company has a governing agency, and the thing is, some of these gated government agencies could very well be what you call it, vigilantes. They could be vigilantes. I was talking about the article about the 124 page thing that Mr. Michael Tilden, and I do, please forgive me, Mr. Tilden, I accidentally pronounced your name as Tillman in one of my videos. It's Tilden, okay? Michael Tilden, he is a CPA, and he wrote the 124 page thing about the problems with the, like 5 different police departments, okay? And it's sad that we have 5. And I'm sure there's more police departments here in California and everywhere else that just can't seem to follow the simple rules. Okay. So, and I'm kind of like, I want to bring up some of the points that he made. I want to read the entire thing, and I'm not going to build it around the entire thing. Okay. But it's important that, yes, these things have been acknowledged. So where is all this coming from? A lot of it is coming from vigilantes. Okay, I guess what when I wrote that, created that video, audit the auditors. Yeah, auditors. These people are getting instructed. Like for example, the auditors could be, overlooking, things that are inhumane or inhuman or incorrect that shouldn't be in data banks or whatever because they're being instructed to by the same network. Okay, we have a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. Okay, because this is what I'm talking about. This sort of infiltration, these sort of vigilantes is what's making this stuff go on. So some of these jobs, this is what I was talking about, like, AI, could possibly be used to replace some things. You know what I mean? We don't need all these people on the earth. This is the truth, and this is where it gets deep. We don't need a bunch of people on the earth. We don't. As like I said, so the human strap keep is slowly starting to be removed from this earth, okay? Because they need to be. They need to be. And they shouldn't be mourned. They shouldn't be, you shouldn't shed one tear for these people. Like I said, they knew what they were doing. Okay? They knew what they were doing. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. I'm going to start playing the music, listening to some music, getting things going, trying to get myself focused and thinking, and get myself, you know, um, positive, okay? And, trying to figure out how I'm going to connect. I think about how I'm going to introduce these, when I make these videos, how I pull it all together, and it's kind of interesting how I pull everything all together. But you know what? I enjoy doing these sort of things because I'm on my own time, and it's fun. It's fun this way. So anyway, I get the intuitive message. This message is for Vladimir Putin. I get the intuitive message that a lot of people want us to be buds. Like they really want us to. People are happy about it, but there's a lot of people who are actually trying to work against it. Okay, and I do believe this. The Valley Credit, Strong Credit Union, the place I bank at, right? I do believe that they are creating problems for me. I do not expect any more holds on my account going forward. I do plan on maybe moving my money into some other option in the future, because I need to start over. If you were banking at a place before when you became a victim of human trafficking, it's better to start just new all over again. You know what I mean? I need a new start. I need to get away from everything that has caused me over trauma and over sensitization. The intuitive message I'm getting from the people that I used to know who were a part of the old network, okay, they do understand that I do know more than educated people. And see, this is what I was being bullied at Murray Family Farms. They weren't paying attention to this. Did they even know why they were bullying me? They were bullying me because every idea that I had, they were stealing. They were bullying me because I was basically dominating the employee meetings. I was the one who kept coming up with ideas. And then when my ex-husband and I got back together in 2010, this is when it became explosive. You see, so it's always been their fault. Okay, and I'm tired of dealing with it. I'm very grateful that Trump protects and supports me. But yeah, this is what it was. They were upset because they did not like or did not accept me for who I was. Okay, because I've always been pretty much speechless by their bullying tactics, right? I was always kind of taken aback and confused because, like I said, everything that I know from business administration, these things shouldn't be happening. So I was floored, that Steve Murray was sitting here running his mouth off the way that he was, and how Selena was sitting here creating all these racial issues with her biracial garbage, and Steve Murray pointing it out and all this. I was like, oh my gosh, you cannot possibly be comparing two different people of different races in front of everybody. But these people were carrying on like the fools that they were, and then brought Kali Culhane at this, what do you call it? Passive aggressive stupidity, basically open admit everybody's a little racist. Well, guess what, bitch? I recorded you. Okay? I'm tired of these incompetent people. I'm sick and tired of them. And they sit here and they try to suppress me. And see, for that long period of time after leaving Murray Family Farms in 2013, I did. I upheld the confidentiality contract. Okay, I was just trying to look for another job, get on with my life. Well, guess what? These people wanted to spread it throughout the community. And then, and what did I talk about? Retaliation. What did I talk about? Retaliation. See, when I signed that confidentiality contract with Murray Family Farms after leaving, that meant that I was supposed to leave their place of employment, and he was supposed to carry on his business, and we were supposed to go our separate ways, and I was supposed to be unaffected by any of it. But guess what? We had stupid people, the people who were part of this network. They wanted to create problems at the bank. They wanted to create problems at my landlord. They do want to do all of this sort of stuff. Okay, it's their fault. So now, like I said, don't you dare think that you have any right to take me to court. No, you do not. Okay, because like I said, I'll drop everybody into this, and they deserve to be. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, they deserve to be executed. Okay, I don't want any more holds on my son's account. I don't want any holds on my account. And unless of course it's valid. Okay, but I will tell you what, extending my bank holds for longer than what they're supposed to be. I'm sorry, you really don't nowadays, because we don't have things like the Federal Reserve, clearing checks and stuff like that. You should not hold a check for longer than 3 days. I understand how that works. As a matter of fact, the banking system was one of the first things you should learn in the business administration. No shit. You should know that. You should know how it operates and everything. Nowadays, you can clear a check immediately out of an account. Okay, so putting holds on accounts for that long, actually for even 3 days, is absurd, because I know that's bullshit. Okay, I know you cannot fool me for anything. Okay, because I know how things work. See? And so every job that I've had since Murray Family Farms, I had felt their stalking behavior, and I've been feeling it, and I hated it. Like when I was at BT Trucking, I just hated being there. I liked it when I first started there. I liked it when I was the administrative assistant. It was okay when I was the office manager, but when they were sitting here trying to give me this brainwashing about now that you're moving into this particular thing, you want to be able to demonstrate that you're willing to do this, and I'm like, no, I don't believe in that because it's not. It's like I'm going to sacrifice this to get this, and it doesn't even mean anything to me. I hate it. Okay. So it's like I don't buy into that nonsense. Okay. So I understand what's right and I understand what's wrong, and I understand the kind of vibe that I need in order to thrive, and that ain't it. And really, when you look at it, it's not really for anybody, and they know it. They know that their system has failed. They know it. Okay. But that's what they get because they're all a bunch of crabs in a barrel and they deserve to be dragged down. Okay. And they deserve to die. So when all these people lose their jobs, I'm not going to be sitting here laughing at it, but at the same time, clear out the dead bodies, bring in some the hazardous waste trucks, don't give them a proper burial, let them scoop them up and dispose of them like hazardous waste and let people forget them. They don't even deserve graves with markers on it. The intuitive message I'm getting is I've got a lot of support by a lot of people when I'm saying this. I'm just done, okay? I want this country cleaned up. I want the world cleaned up, okay? And I want people to be happy about their lives. I want people to wake up feeling energized and excited about life instead of feeling like there's some sort of dirt or some sort of fear always around, something negative always lurking. There is no reason to live under the system that it is currently. Okay, the only people who benefit are these fat women who are sitting here bullying people. Okay, and you can sit here and get offended by what I'm saying if you want to, but you know it's right. Okay, so people like Mary Londucci, Selena Bruce, there was a girl named Nora. She was all these people who were a part of it. Okay, I don't care about you. Okay, I don't feel sorry for you. I don't feel anything for you. You have set my life back, and I am a person who's only focused on myself the entire time. I would never do something like this to anybody. Okay, you're guilty of initiating genocide, and if you're not dead already, you should be arrested. The intuitive message I'm getting is that people are happy that they have resolved this issue relating to their SNAP benefits, and that yes, companies and the government offices are getting audited, and I was right. Wonderful. I'll wrap this video out. Take care. Bye bye.